Alrighty, welcome back everyone. Scarland here bringing you a new Neverwinter video, and today, as the topic suggests, the mount changes and upgrades have been released publicly. So we're going to dive into this. We're going to read this blog article that just came out today. As of filming this video, it's August 24th, 2020. So if you're watching this, this might already be in-game. However, we don't know when this is coming in-game. It could be sometime later this year. It could be next month. They don't have a time frame listed on when this is actually getting launched in the game. But this is our first sneak peek of the upcoming changes and upgrades. And right off the bat, we knew Mythic mounts were coming. I showed you guys in past preview videos. They were leaked early. It was supposed to be a secret. And now we can see this unfold of how Mythic mounts are going to be obtainable. So let's go ahead. We're going to read this pretty much word for word. We're going to go right through here. I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can actually go to the blog itself. So, here we go. Mounts in Neverwinter are very much the same as they have been for years. While that is a good thing in many areas, there have been some aspects of mounts that you or community have been asking to see improved. As having a blog post implies, we have made some changes that will soon be coming to a server near you, and they wanted to share the details. So it says that it's coming soon, but when is soon? Months? The end of the year? We don't know yet. Mount speed. First topic. A lot of players have commented on how they want a legendary mount because they want the faster movement speed. So essentially, in the original early days of the game, legendary mounts were sought after, not only for their powers and everything, but solely for that 140% movement speed, which then stacks on top of your guild boon. So to get the fastest mount speed in the game, you had to have a legendary mount plus the guild boon. Well, now, as you're going to see here, all players will now have two mount speeds. The first speed is as fast as the existing legendary mount, which is 140%. The second speed is the same speed for the uncommon green quality mount for your role-playing and Protector's Enclave parade needs. With this change, mounts also no longer grant a speed when adding to your stable. So, right off the bat, as a level 1 player, from what I'm understanding here, as a level 1 brand new player, you're automatically getting legendary speed, no matter what. It doesn't matter. You might as well not even call it legendary speed anymore. There's only going to be two different mount speeds in the game from here on out. 140% and 50%. So, now, you don't have to worry about buying a legendary mount that you didn't want, right? Like, if you were a brand new player and you were trying to get your first legendary mount solely for that speed, you would typically just buy whatever the cheapest legendary mount was at the time. You don't have to do that anymore. They're giving it to you. Everybody is going to have 140% right off the bat. So, that's good in my eyes. I mean, I can't complain about that. I mean, it is what it is. So, mounts from now on will not have any technical mount speed. That you already should have your mount speed. Mount upgrades. Here we go. Let's get into the nitty gritty here. It can be tough for players to get higher quality of mounts, especially legendary quality. Of course, because most of them only came out of lockboxes. It was basically a pay-to-win function to have a legendary mount in early versions of the game, which left some players missing out on mount combat powers altogether. Now, mounts will be able to be upgraded all the way from common quality all the way to Mythic. So, yes, Mythic is going to be in the game. This is now 100% confirmed. This isn't on preview server. This isn't me making assumptions. This is coming to the game. Mythic mounts are finally going to come into the game. However, they're not gaining any speed bonus. Now it's about the statistics of the Mythic mount. Everybody wanted faster mounts. Everybody was tired of 140% speed. Everyone wanted flying mounts. We wanted faster mounts. It doesn't seem like it's possible. It doesn't seem like that's coming. Mythic mounts are all going to be about the statistical bonuses. So, mounts are upgraded through mount upgrade tokens. So now we have a new currency coming into the game, which initially will be available from the Zen Market, the Trade Board Store, and from certain events, such as Hell Pit. So when this first launches, essentially Cryptic is going to try to make a little bit of revenue. You know, they are a company. They need to make money. Mount upgrade tokens are going to be in the Zen Market. We don't know the price tag on them. We don't know how much they're going to cost, etc. However, they are also going to be in the Trade Bar Store, which essentially means for veteran players like me, for instance, it's free. I have a very, very large amount of trade bars. So me being able to buy just mount upgrade tokens from the Trade Bar Store, that's huge for me personally. But other people that don't have the luxury of having, you know, hundreds of thousands of trade bars laying around, well, initially, yeah, there's going to be a price tag on these things, folks. There's going to be a price tag on these. We don't know how much, but we'll have to wait and see. Also, they'll be coming from events, certain events, like Hell Pit. But we also know that Hell Pit doesn't come around very often, so that's not a very valid way of getting them. A few changes were made to mounts to support upgrading. All mounts have 3 insignia slots regardless of quality. So currently there are epic and legendaries that only have 3 slots. I believe some rare, some blue ones have 3 slots. I could be wrong. But like green mounts and common mounts, they only have 2 insignia slots. Well, that's not the case anymore. Every mount in the game now will have access to 3 insignia slots. In my own personal opinion, and insignias need worked on next. The insignia bonuses specifically need worked on next. Insignia slots do not change during the upgrading process, so if you are upgrading from legendary to mythic, you're still going to have those same slots that came with that mount. All mounts now have a passive and combat power. All of them. All mounts now have a passive and combat power. That means rare mounts, uncommon mounts, even common mounts, and rare mounts, and uncommon. Right? White, green, blue, epic. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter now. They all have a passive ability and a combat power. Those powers scale up as the mount is increased in quality. So like a legendary mount obviously has mount powers, right? And epic mounts have mount powers. Well, now when you upgrade those, the powers get stronger. So when you go to mythic, it gets stronger. Any power shared by multiple mounts will scale to the highest quality mount that you own, which grants that power. So this is like if you have multiple mounts that both have armor penetration or power. So say you have 2 power mounts, right? But you have a power mount that's epic and you have a power mount that's legendary. You're going to get that legendary power over the epic one. Mounts which previously didn't have a combat power will have one of 3 generic new combat powers that either do single target damage, AoE damage, or self-heal over time. So now this is all of the mounts that previously didn't have combat powers. So like your common white mounts, your uncommon green mounts, your rare purple, or I'm sorry, your epic purple, or I'm sorry, your rare blue mounts. Like the 3 mount types that never had combat powers to begin with, they're going to get a generic one, right? It'll either be a single target, an AoE, or a self-heal. Mount Bolster. Now this is new. Now we have Mount Bolster. Remember, we have Companion Bolster, right? You have to have X amount of companions at legendary status to get that 15% bolster. Now, here, they didn't list the maximum bolster for mounts, okay? We don't know what percentile we're looking at, but it does say your 10 highest quality mounts add to your mount bolster, which in turn increases your mount passive and combat powers up to double their base effectiveness. This is huge, and this is actually one of the flaws of the system that I see right now. Overall, I'm very impressed with what they're doing here. This is a step in the right direction, 100%. However, there are still flaws that I can see initially just by reading this alone. So if you're not understanding what this says, essentially, if you have maximum bolster, whatever it may be, let's say it's 100%, right? I don't think it's 100%, but let's just make the excuse me. Let's just make the arithmetic easy, and let's just say that it's 100% bolster, because it's saying your 10 highest quality. So let's say you have 10 mythic mounts. One mythic mount gives you 10%. You can see in the screenshot right here a legendary swarm. I believe this is legendary. Well, this is a deep crow. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they actually did something with them here. Oh, we'll get into that in a second then. So we have swarm here. Swarm is a 5%. I'm assuming this is a legendary swarm. Is 5%. So let's just assume mythic mounts give 10% bolster per mythic mount. So if you have 10 mythic mounts and you have 100% bolster, it's literally going to double its effectiveness, right? Let's talk about the one mythic mount that we've seen that I showed in a preview video. We're talking about the Mythic T-Rex. The Mythic T-Rex had a base, just a Mythic T-Rex, a base of 15% debuff. So you're telling me if I get 100% bolster in my mounts now, that turns into a 30% debuff? Because that's what I'm reading on paper here. This is what I'm reading on paper, and this is how I am interpreting this. So a Mythic T-Rex has a base of 15% debuff. And then if I get 100% mount bolster, it should be doubling. So you're telling me 30% debuff? Hello? And now we're also talking about the Griffin, the armored Griffin, right? 15% base, most likely at Mythic. So that's 15, whatever it is, negating the damage, whatever the Griffin does. So now that's 30% damage mitigation? What? I mean, this is kind of... They might have to work on this a little more. This might actually not be finalized. They might need to tweak this a little more, because they're essentially undoing the changes they did in Mod 16. I mean, the power creep is going to be insane. And those are just two examples. There are a plethora of examples I can give you for the mythic mounts that are going to end up being super overpowered. So, yes, to me personally, I think there are still actual flaws in this system. I mean, flaws as in what the company wants the game to progress as. For me, I'm perfectly fine with this. I want to demolish content. I've always wanted to demolish content. So giving me a 30% debuff coming from a T-Rex, yeah, I'm okay with that. I hope this is finalized and this is going to be put in the game, because that's insane. Anyway, that is Mount Bolster. We'll have to wait to find out more about it. As mentioned above, insignia slots do not change as your mount is upgraded. Along with that, you do not unlock additional costumes or powers as your mount ranks up. This means the rarer legendary mounts will retain a good amount of their uniqueness, including their multiple universal insignia slots. So, I mean, still having legendary mounts is going to benefit you because they have universal insignia slots, compared to, let's say, if you're taking a mount from green all the way to mythic, they don't have universal slots. You're still going to be locked into that insignia bonus, whatever those slots will make you. Mount passives were reworked to be higher item level and grant more statistics. Along with this, they also grant a large part of their stats to combined rating to better help players gear up over and make it less likely that slotting a given passive power will shoot one stat far over cap while leaving the others under cap. They're talking about split stat legendaries. There's a lot of split stat legendaries, so you're not stacking let's say if you have the double bolster, if you have 100% bolster on a legendary. So let's say, what's a good example here? The Black Ice Warhorse at legendary, it's 10,000 power. The Arcane Whirlwind is 10,000 power at legendary. If those increase to 15,000 at mythic, right? Even if they go to 20,000. So if a mythic Black Ice Warhorse or Arcane Whirlwind goes to 20,000 power at mythic, and then you add another 100% bolster, does that take it to 40,000? 40,000 power from a mount? I don't know, man. This is interesting. We'll have to see how this works out. So I didn't notice this off the bat when I was actually reading and going through this the first time, but I don't know. I'm kind of having some second thoughts about these statistics. Can you imagine? Can you imagine getting 40,000 of one statistic just from your mount power? I don't know, guys. I don't know. Here we have a little snippet. So from going to legendary to mythic, it's going to cost 200 mount upgrade tokens. It's right there. 200 mount upgrade tokens going from legendary to mythic. Again, let me reiterate, we do not know how much these mount upgrade tokens are going to cost. So if you're trying to get 10 mythics, right? Assuming you need 10 mythics, if we scroll back up here and look, where's the line? Your 10 highest quality. Assuming we need 10 mythic mounts, it's going to cost you 2,000. Right? 10 times 200, 2,000, right? So if you're going for 10 mythic mounts to get full maximum potential, to get 100% bolster, it's going to cost 2,000 because it's 200 per. And we just don't know how much that's going to be. Are we talking hundreds of dollars? Are we talking thousands of dollars? What are the packs going to look like in the Zen store? Are they going to be 50 mount tokens for 5,000 Zen? That's $50 for 50 tokens. I don't think they're going to be that expensive, but we just don't know. Is it going to be 1,000 for 50? 1,000 for 100? I can see maybe that. 1,000 Zen for 100 mount tokens, so essentially $20. 2,000 Zen for 200 mount upgrade tokens. $20 per mythic mount. That isn't horrible. That's not horrible, considering we've seen a lot of sketchy things in the Zen market over the years for a lot of money. We have to wait and see. We have to wait and see how much this process is ultimately going to cost. Let's continue. There's more goodies to go. Introducing the new items. Mount collars. That's right, folks. We can now put collars on our mounts. Let's see. We also wanted to add more options and value to mounts. Your stable mounts now have a new slot, which is for mount colors. Here's a picture. Remember, you can only have 5 active mounts at one time. Well, you'll be able to have 5 collars at one time. Mount collars are new items that will grant benefits to your utility stats. Now, this is another flaw here, unfortunately. There's only 5 utility stats in the entire game right now. Unless they plan on introducing more utility stats, I don't care. I believe the 5 utility stats are XP bonus, glory bonus, companion influence, gold bonus, and what's the 5th one? Incoming healing. Those are the only 5 utility statistics that we actually have. Now, I don't personally care about XP bonus. I don't care about the glory bonus for PvP. I don't care about the gold bonus, the XP bonus, and the glory bonus. So that's 3 right off the bat I don't care about. Companion influence is important, and incoming healing is important. But here's the kicker, folks. Here's the kicker. You can only have one type of each. If we read through this, they come in qualities from common to mythic, So there's going to be rankings of the collars all the way from common to mythic tier, and a mount can only wear an equal or lower quality collar. So to get a mythic collar and be able to wear a mythic collar, it has to be a mythic mount. But you can have a mythic mount and then wear a legendary collar. However, you can't have a epic mount here. This can't be purple and you equip a legendary collar. They have to coincide, but if you have mythic, mythic can wear everything. Base mount collars will drop in dungeons, which is good. That gives people something to farm for. So base mount collars will drop in dungeons, as well as some new upgrade materials. So yes, more upgrade materials. We have Stones of Empowerment that drop from critters, and Greater Stones of Empowerment, which drops from epic dungeons and trowels and chests. And that's what you're going to be using to upgrade those collars. So if you get a base collar, you can then upgrade it all the way to mythic if you so choose. One extra unique aspect of these collars is that they come in specific types. So here's what I was talking about. A character can only benefit from one of a given collar type at the time. So make sure to get all 5 types to maximize your benefits. So essentially, mount collars are great. It's great that they are introducing new things into the game. However, they're not that good. You're only going to benefit from, let's just say, the companion influence and the incoming healing. Most veteran and endgame players don't care about gold gain, we don't care about XP bonus, and we don't care about glory bonus. They either need to add more utility statistics into the game or work on this system a little bit, because I don't see this as a major selling point here. Yes, it's something new. Yes, it's something they introduced new into the game. It's great. I'm happy. I'm so happy that they are doing this. But again, they need to do it correctly. You're already limiting players. There's 5 types. You can only have one of each. So for instance, I can't just stack all companion influence here. I can't just stack all incoming healing here. I can only have one of each type. And from my understanding, there's only 5 utility stats in the game, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got your XP bonus, your glory bonus, your gold bonus, your companion influence, your incoming healing. So take that with a grain of salt. Hopefully they work on it, and hopefully maybe I'm missing something, but we'll have to wait and see again. Moving along, there's still more, folks. We're still going. Zen store adjustments. We have lowered the cost of mounts in the Zen market. I've been asking for this for years. They were way overpriced. They were $35. $35, folks. $35 for an epic mount. That is an account-wide unlock, which was the only bonus for paying $35. But it's still an epic mount, and they were $35. They have finally lowered the price. 1,500 Zen, aka $15. I am most pleased with that. Very pleased that they have finally lowered the prices. While we were making the change, we also went forward with another plan we have been talking about for a little while. We lowered the cost of epic companions down to 1,500 Zen. But that's not the best part. That's not the best part. Are you ready? And we made companion Zen Market purchases account-wide unlocks. So any companion that you actually bought off the Zen store now is account-wide. And this is an indication that we can very soon see account-wide companions in the game. Because they've already done it to the mounts, right? We've seen account-wide legendary mounts now, and these are things that should have been in the game years ago. This game's on its 8th year right now in its life cycle. These are things that should have been done a long time ago. But now, they're coming. They're coming. Account-wide unlock companions will be a thing in the future, for sure. They're already introducing it with the Zen Market ones. In many cases, the account-wide reclaims for companions will be retroactive, and players will see the reclaims for past purchases show up for their alts to claim as the change goes live. Now, keep in mind with this is that the companions in the Zen Market, most of them aren't very sought after. They're not that good. But just the sheer fact that they're turning them into account-wide companions is 100% a push in the right direction, and undoubtedly you will start to slowly see account-wide companions come into the game themselves. This does not apply to this does not apply to all companions, and it does not apply to previously limited time event companions. So like the Alpha Company, right? They recently just sold the Alpha Company outright for money for Zen on the Zen store. This will not count. They're specifically talking about the companions listed in the companion tab. So like those limited time sell things like the Alpha Company and stuff like that, yeah, that's not going to be included, guys. Because they are now reclaims, companions no longer come with bonding runestones. Lockbox adjustments here. There's one last change that goes along with all the others. The top tier chase items in lockboxes have had their odds improved. Again, might I add. Again, this is the second time. The top chase prize is now 3 times as likely to drop. 3 times. So what's 3 times 1%, guys? 3% instead of 1%? Okay. You know, I mean, let's not get too hyped here. Lockboxes are nothing more than a gambling mechanic, and keep in mind, the house always wins, right? The house always wins. Lockboxes in the current state of the game right now are horrendous. I always advise people to stay away from them and just save your daily VIP keys for when and if a new box comes out and it becomes good, or something along the lines of an increase like this. But even an increase like this, remember, what's 3 times 1? Because, you know, those chase items right now, yeah, they're basically hovering around the 1% ratio. So three times is likely to drop. 3 times 1 is still 3%, folks. Again, whatever. It's a push in the right direction, I guess. I would honestly like to see just Lockbox removed out of the game. I mean, but that's probably never going to happen. And to wrap it up, here we go. The free pack. We also wanted to make sure everyone can enjoy the new mount features right away. When the changes go live, players will be able to claim 1 free pack per account from the Reclaim agent. You're going to get 75 upgrade tokens, the mount upgrade tokens. Well, it's not enough for a Mythic, right? But you're going to get 75 mount upgrade tokens for free. You're going to get a free Epic Mount Collar Choice Pack, so you're going to get one of those collars at epic value already. 150 Stones of Empowerment, which is used for upgrading collars. 50 Greater Stones of Empowerment, which is another collar reagent. And then you're also going to get 100% off companion coupon. So you're going to get a free companion out of this. If you are still missing something, or you just wanted to always buy something and you didn't want to spend the money on it, well, they're giving you a free companion. And now that companion is going to be an account-wide unlock. So there it is, guys. There is the blog released today. Again, today is August 24th. We broke this down. We read it word for word. I will leave a link in the description for the blog itself. I'm overall very pleased with these changes. However, I do see some flaws in the system. Hopefully they address it. Hopefully they tweak it before this goes live. But we'll have to wait and see. Again, with the collars only being utility stats, I mean, I just don't see it. We only have 5 utility stats in the game right now anyway. So, yeah, here it is. It's a push in the right direction. I am most pleased with most of this. However, I still have my reservations reserved for the power creep. The power creep is going to be huge. Imagine getting 40,000 power from one mythic mount. we'll have to wait and see. Once this hits preview, I'll make some more videos about the mount upgrading process, the collar upgrading process, what the reagents are, how many you're going to need, etc., etc., etc. As we get closer to the launch, we'll discuss this again. There'll be more videos, but that's going to do it for me today, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to leave me feedback down in the comments. Let me know how you're feeling about this. Are you excited about this? Do you not give a shit about this? What are your overall feelings toward this new system that will be coming into play? As always, remember to smash that like button. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. And as always, I'll see you guys real soon.